free SHS na MPP forecast say John Mahama any NDC for be gunu no asem papa bi abafie me ka kire Ghana for say nobody should trust the NPP omo ye wifo omo ya kromfo omo ya trofo. Now omo idea nyina ne say they are going to go out and lie. Now omo gin say omo twa atro na to aso a Ghana for beji edi e said the omo the year from 2012 to 2016 enye dwuma. And the education minister kasa our friend Harun Idrisu Teni or say free SHS, we have decided to assign 150,000 students to private schools. Mokai say, John Mahama wo position no catch the Ghana for say the free SHS aba and just say omo running a private schools a senior high schools no I was see a twa omo if we say almost a Ghana for Sebio yempo almost contribute to the development of Ghana for Nkwara. Inti John Mahama in opposition no omo ka kire Ekufuado aban say mama ye ntwa private schools ne mbo sebio Ghana ni na wenye sika ena ose ono so pese obie school na sebio enkwara omo Ghana dodo no omo nya aban school no kura nkwa omo so betumi aba sa school ma ye nyina ya boa akekere oman no inta eden na aban ekase free SHS aba emwa odebe boa sa nkora no ompese odebe boa private schools no so ma omo so afa Ghana nkora ni bi. Intended John Mahama through a education minister, omo de asem papa bi aba. Omo say enkwara 150,000. Omo be che omo de omo ma private schools no. If you say private schools no so no, omo hia aban moa. Inti send be ya yenya sa overcrowding. Remember, red, blue, green na yeko your friend shift system no, and a double track no. Because schools, majority of schools are now Ghana no. Na enkwara ne doors che schools no Ekufuado ne MPP omo jiminti e-blocks no mo beto ye no omo ntuma nsi bia nka ho ene na de double track ne ba na enkwara ne bitifie na ebi ko school you see aban ne say enkwara 150,000 no omo be che omo ama accredited senior high schools private na aban so ayeden aso omo asene kakra sene be ya school enkwara no dodo omo betwa no omo nyina benya school akọ nti this is how you govern. You see, so you don't leave some people behind. So unka say oh ya buying into weja ankura we chire. Ghana your situation baby edru no. See yenya ankura e mo man so ya senior. Ade bi aban baby a bedding because right now as we speak, the government of Ghana cannot employ over 800,000 people. That is the biggest capacity of it my employ. Inti busa say nipa 800,000 pen aban betuma form wa. Omo maka no mu page one why na be so form e was a private entities and I say ankura ne form. Na say ankura no aban ni ne omo endi nsa woso na aban na amboa ankura ama ankura na ehu se omo so row no ebetumi aboa ma ya kekere man na ebe den na aban akekere man no nti ebe hia say the government collaborates with the private sector to build the country, the education sector, the unemployment sector, the employment sector, the agriculture sector, the social, every sector the government needs to work with the private sector. Into this initiative by the NDC government led by John Mahama and then the competent education minister Harun Idrisu, this is going to ease the pressure on the public senior high schools. School bi oha omuntumi fanipa 4,000 but because abino Ekufuado mu no mo jiminti no masesa nkora na koguo na so nkro nsuo ewi omo na nkora ne nya nsuo nom abra ye wo private schools e wo Ghana aban betumi ne omodi nsawoso na nkora ne bi so akoho na aban ene private schools na tenase ahwe sene omo so betumi aboa sustain sa nkora no mo ho no into the government today. John Mahama ebo a ohye Ghana fo ebo a ohye awofo se obedi president a ontwa free SHS mu obedi president free SHS no obehye mu kena ama even omo ya private schools no senior high schools are private no John Mahama ka say obehye mu kena mo omo nyina no at the end of the day no ayeden at the end of the day no omo nya ho mfaso ama ye nyina nya ho mfaso enti ebo a John Mahama share Ghana no sa ebo no na ende wedi so Harry na Idris say omo decide omo ka omo adwene si omo so omo befa nipa 150,000 no oma chenkwara no de ama private senior high schools no na enkwara na nkomo beka fie no omu nyina so enya edin school akọ into ya wofo a mensuro double track system no ye betwam NDC be ye free ho John Mahama ne NDC say enkwara no ebi nko blue enko green enko red enkwara no nyina be ko school the same day no man ba midterms the same day, no man sa ama kwan the same day. Obi entumi meka nkyem se abena ko ye no na ade na moma ba obi abeko September no obi aba November obi abeko June no obi aba July ye nyina abeko school the same time na ye nyina aba fie the same time. Eba sana jantra na nkora ne bo no esu betwa efiri se enne obi tia senkregwa odwen se de ba ko school enso ne ba e wo second track ne ba na ka che ne ma me se oko school otafo miken oteboy bi nchen e bo nkwan anajo akora no ye de ti aboban e ne ye bo ne to sa nyoma no esu betwa efiri se ya bena ba eye ekuata so aba untimi kan chem se ya bena ba ma ekuata mba ye because ye nyina ye ma kwan pe e ne ye nyina ko school pe. Inti John Mahama ebo a ohye Ghana for no ebo no na wadi so fenkyem John Mahama akire Ghana for say sa ensam a one Ghana for kan ye a bro different social contract no sa ebo a ohye Ghana for no odi ebo no so, and every single day John Mahama follows every single thing he has told Ghanaians. Inti na dan Kwaku Fuado at a point instead say or de private school for no eba be kan na omaje nkwara ne bi na ye nyina kyekere man na bom no ode ne kwasia ka kire Ghana for say ye pa obi a ope no onfa ne banko private school onfa ne kwasia onfa ne banko private school sa na do dan Kwaku Fuado ne MPP for enkwasia asem ka kire Ghana no na Ghana for awofo ka se nana se sia nkwara no schools na bo ape so ade na won ne private school for no enka mutimbom na moso omomfa bi na aban ne omndi adwuma na Kwaku Fuado ka kire Ghana for awofo so omomfo kwasia nko na the person in the back of private school no on the back enko private school achichide no asem o kan ye.
Let me express before I sit down my difference with the president of the bar on one critical issue. People who can afford to pay fees for the education of their wards should send them to fee-paying private schools. Public schools, that is schools funded by the taxpayer, should be free to all who would otherwise be unable to pay for their education. That is why the numbers of pupils who have access to secondary education has doubled since the introduction of the free senior high school policy.
Oni bia ya pa enkwasiafo no mo ye lawyers let wo bom nsem omo anom to omo nya lawyers o because politics say jimi enti akokora ne kan kwasiasem akokora ne jimi na ye nya mbrante ne mmaba wote wo say ye lawyers omo bom nsem say nwan asem Akufo ado ka nyansa be ne wo ma wo say lawyer ni etena hobo ne nsem ekire wo jimi ekire law na mkoye wo school no majority of you did not get the right passes. A criminal, Nyoman Edumbe law school, or Emmanuel lawyers. Because the president standing before you know, in some way can send him. Now, if the government is the one taking care of kids in public schools, sir. Now, if the government decides to offload some of the kids to private schools, sir, the budget for those kids are more public school. No, that same budget can be given to those kids that have been loaned or have been given to the private schools. What difference does it make? Because I was spending 10 Ghana a day on every child in public school. Now you don't have the facility to, at the end of the day, take all these kids and Kwarani enya baby india, baby on double track a koswa. What you need to do is offload some of the kids, give them to private schools that have accommodation. And if you are spending 10 Ghana cedis on every child, call private school, a government school, why don't you give the 10 Ghana cedis to the private school? For the private school to also make some money. It's for the president to make this childish, stupid, ignorant statement. For people calling themselves lawyers to say, yes, yeah, boy, and seminal, then it means Ghana has a problem. Then it means Ghana as a nation, we need to relook at some people who stand in court to say, they are knowledgeable enough to defend people. Because as Sama Akufo Addo kano hono, Jimmy Kasanana all kano. Because nobody has said, Mema abai enye free education. But is the government ready to be able to accommodate all these kids? No. The schools are over to, did you build the schools? No. So what do you have to do? So what do you build the facilities, to accommodate all the kids? And you have private schools that are willing to take them. Why don't you give it to the private schools? And then the money that you'll be using to feed these kids, accommodation or whatever, you pay to the private schools. Technically, you are now helping the private schools to also be sustainable. So what is so difficult about this for this dwarf to stand before men with their balls in their asses to say obia onye sa na the Bangkok private school na enkwasi asem nti politics ejimi yenti people were clapping ye njimi ye. Are we not stupid? Meka kire mo se Ghana omo mo ka brofo bebrebe no mo ejimi meka asem we akire mo sa mo njimi ndi. We say Ghana obi o ka brofo bebrebe o Ghana bia we jimi. I'm telling you, because you know, etise bibini a obo mpaye wa brofum. Let me tell you the honest truth. Me say Ghana na mote no. Omo a wohu omo so mo ka brofu bebre o Ghana no, omo ejimi. They are ignorant. Because wo bibini a wo bibini. A ugina sorry dem a one onyankopon kasa no. A untumi nka no wan kasa o kasem ema onyankopon hu problem no. We jimi, you are wasting your time in front of your God. Because asemi a wo be kan wakoma mu wo brofu twi mu no brofu ntumi nka eni tina wo so da ya wo so no kasa ye de wom wo so da ya on so da ya wo brofu mu. There's a reason ti a wo da na wo so da ya wo so da ya wo ahona mu o kasa wo da ya de ma o ka ahona o ti ase wo ahona mu eni tina wo da ya ase e wo asante kasa mu eni tina wo da ya no wo be hu na wo kasa mfante kasa mu because eno ena nyame dia dua wo mu enti sa wo pese no nyankopon kasa o kasa o nyame beti ase. And the sangwasi from Guana, almost sorry, hey baba, and a couple of sorry them no. They don't even know what they want. And unless you understand, because akumano any onyankopon de dinkomo. Into agri was a brofu de free one no ebano and emo nyamitie wa. Into kufuado in sama okano. The issue here is that Nanado danko kufuado. Brofu na okano nti ama mutu on ejiminti. I'm just saying he's making sense. He wasn't making sense. 90% of Ghana for Macabro for Ghana, we Jimmy. I'm telling you.